Philadelphia child, wild, mild, mind all filled with city, fresh city, foul city, fiery city, frigid city.
Let's go.
Dear Grandma, the first time you showed me I was a woman, you made all the boys leave the room so I could change clothes. You said all the women and the girls could stay because we all had the same stuff. You taught us how to describe our stuff using cute phrases and fake words. We had nanas and tatas and kitty cats. And even though the first man who asked to have my body didn't use any of those words you taught me, I still search his mouth for the parts of me that I learned from you.
So part of my role is to make sure we keep the lights on and to make sure that there's structure and support for the staff and for the young people. I am in a unique role as board chair and mentor. So while I do what it needs what we need to do in terms of fundraising and administrative work, I also serve kind of a mama role to the kids. So it's very important for any organization to have folks who serve the role of stability and to allow the young people to be creative, to allow our other mentors to be writers and to be creative, and to know from day to day PYPM is going to live on because we have a basis of a foundation.
There are times when I think too hard to feel safe inside of my own melanin. When I double check this dark, I wear insecure like my body's biggest birthmark. Wear fear like it's my body's biggest organ. Wear my nothing like it's my name. There's times when I'm painfully conscious of my own humanity. How easily I can die. How vulnerable I am to this world's everything. How nothing I can be as soon as someone with gun or gutless soul determines me. As such, there are times when I forget to count my breaths.
Well, it always feels fantastic. This is our 17th year. I think one of my favorite things now is that the festival is essentially being run by kids who used to be in the festival, which is just a fantastic thing, and that was always what we wanted to do. It's really always about creating a safe space for young people to thrive, and they're thriving not only as the young poets on stage and the young poets in the workshop and the young poets in the garden, but they're thriving as the young poets organizing the festival for the poets younger than them. One of the things that we always say to the kids is, what you're doing today is about you, but it's also about the future. And it's about the kids who are 5 years old, and what are they going to step into in 10 years, and what are you building for them right now? And that's something that we try and manifest among the young people, and they grab it, they embrace it, and they make us all proud.
According to the administration of the summer camp I teach at, Caleb exhibits dangerous behaviors and is unlikely to succeed in my class.
He has been deemed a likely candidate for disciplinary outplacement.
If all you have is a hammer, every child begins to look like nails.
If you bend a nail, it becomes a trigger.
If you wait for a child to explode, they will.
Caleb is 10 years old, wears a yellow snapback like a gold crown.
If you call a child by their neighborhood, you can keep them there. If you call them dangerous, you can forget they're human.
Caleb wants to know if I'm worried people will think I'm soft because I have a heart that says mom tattooed inside my bicep. I tell him it's okay to be soft for your mother, and he agrees.
If you tell yourself a child is doomed to drown, you will not feel guilty for standing on the dock.
Philadelphia has a special place in the United States history, and in that way in the history of the world. For us, it's important to present a future that is colorful, vibrant, diverse, that reflects 21st century. And so I guess what I'm most proud of is being able to see all of these young people who may not otherwise see their place in the United States Constitution. And then here they are actually sharing their stories in the birthplace of the United States Constitution. I think that's a very powerful thing. I think for the Philadelphia community, it's important to understand that these youth go to workshops all year. They go through many projects and many different developmental opportunities before they wind up on that stage. And for every 6 to 8 kids who are on that stage, there's thousands of kids at home in each one of these cities who didn't get a chance to be here. And so part of what we try to do is get the word out not only locally but also nationally, and just to remind those young people that they're not alone and that there's other young people who take stock in their voices, take stock in community, and really invest their time and energy into improving themselves and improving those around them.
So now we're collectively just taking back this space, which was North Philly's largest, dump site, and cleaned it up together, hand in hand. And now we grow food together. Now we eat together. Now we listen together, and we, go different places. And we have a camaraderie that can't be broken because we started with nothing, and we know what it's like to start from all the way at the bottom to coming to a place where now the whole world is looking at us.
What do you think people don't understand about North Philadelphia? We hear, we talk about North Philly a lot in terms of a lack of resources and just this idea that gentrification or other not community-centered interests are having an impact on North Philly's residents. But you've created greenery, you've created community in this space. And so what do people need to know aside from the headlines and all the other things that they're hearing?
Well, one, Village of Arts and Humanities has been in this neighborhood for many of years. So community building, community restoration has always been a part of North Philadelphia, especially in this section. There's just a divide in people and a divide between these two buildings on making everyone come together. So I think, with the partnership that we have with them, to use this land, and the partnership that we have with the community along with their community, it just fosters a situation where conversations happen, where, people are getting jobs, people are getting housing. So, all these headlines about North Philly this, North Philly that, that, I don't know what part of North Philly that is, it's definitely not right.
I think it's definitely the power of Mondo. Yeah. I am because we are. So as a team, it was not just about us, but it was about our entire country, our entire continent, and about all the people that got left behind and all the people who didn't have voices. So when we came on that semi-final stage, we told ourselves that forget who you are. Remember what you came here for, who you came here for. So I feel like the energy that every other team gave us was so beautiful and so inspiring. They think that we're here for, we came here by ourselves. We're like, no, we here because of everyone else's energy and everyone else's love and understanding and acceptance. It is so beautiful. It makes us want to be better poets and better people. So I think the concept of Mundu, especially on Mandela's birthday, was just beautiful.
Having the honor of representing Philadelphia is already, great enough. And so with that in the next 5 or 10 years, if I get just a little bit of recognition, if I could just kind of spread the idea of Youth Poet Laureate, to the youth, and hopefully get more Youth Poet Laureate programs started around the states for people to really, have that person represented in their cities and in their countries. I think it would be awesome if I could do that. And I see myself, I want to be a neurosurgeon, so I see myself going to med school in the next 5 years. And with that, writing is something that I've always held on to. And I never want to stop doing that. And I want to learn how to publish and how to, kind of write other people's stories and write my story and keep doing that art alongside that science, because I really think they go hand in hand.
Well, it's I want to say that it's an American story because it is, but it's increasingly an international story. But it's rooted in a hope that can't be nationalized or corporatized. The young people keep coming. It reminds me of of another poem, I'm a little overwhelmed, I have to say, in this moment, just watching the young people with their hands in the dirt, literally transitioning word to a different kind of physical power. You know, the level of accountability, not just artistic prowess, is really astounding, and it's a great antidote and anecdote for anyone who feels like young people have checked out in terms of their responsibility to collective empowerment. You know, this is a resounding response, you know, to that fallacy.
And the last time we spoke, we were talking about your piece, RBG of Blues.
Yes.
And how it speaks to this phenomena, this idea of us understanding the earth that has basically, you know, sprung us up.
Yes.
and allowed us to flourish. And now you see all these young people making that connection in an area of Philadelphia that many people write off, that they don't understand has potential.
Yes.
And yet there is an urban farm here,
Yes.
and all of these young people are engaged with helping to maintain and expand the
Yes.
power of that. How does that, I guess, wrap around into your work that you have shared with us here with the Philadelphia audience?
Well, you know, I think that the work of any educator, certainly the work of our most storied and also underdocumented freedom fighters, is the work of cultivating something that you might never see. And, you know, what I feel blessed about it, you know, in this particular iteration, is that this is work that we've been cultivating for nearly 20 years, and we're not only beginning to see, but we annually through Brave New Voices see tangible results. But the level of activism here is what we've always preached. You know, from an artistic perspective and from an educational perspective, we are descendants of a great Brazilian activist and educator named Paulo Freire, who talks about praxis, who talks about reflection and action in practice at the point of intersection, right? So the work that I make is that. It's reflection in action. And what we've been teaching, both educationally and in terms of artistic practice, is this: that however powerful the poems might be on stage, they are hollow without connection to community.
A small vocal minority seeks to destroy the heritage.
We must be ever vigilant that this minority does not impose its philosophy on the unwilling majority of Americans. America has a selective memory, only knows how to play victim, never aggressor. 9/11, never forget. The Lusitania, never forget. Pearl Harbor, never forget. Move, forgotten. America doesn't memorialize its mistakes. Watches all parts of history it's not proud of. Every boat, bomb, beating. Those who aren't content with oppression are snatched from the timelines of American history. Who was a family of revolutionaries who believed in the religion of life, that government laws didn't apply. They adopted the last name Africa in remembrance of a stolen homeland on May 13th, 1985. A police helicopter Hiroshima to Philadelphia street, waging a war against its own citizens. Attention, move. This is America. So supposed to be an eviction, turned into a bombing. 200 residents left homeless. 11 people killed. 5 of them children. Our capitals have been meeting amnesia. Seeking evidence of any resistance under the American flag.
History is being told what to remember.
We're going to live uninterrupted by government and police. This country has a way of justifying genocide.
Philadelphia child, at the mercy of the public school system, at the mercy of the existence of human allegiance and government finance. Dance with the element of chance. The chance to grow. The chance to fly. The chance to know. The chance to die. In body, in spirit, mind, or soul. The chance to be gold or fool. The chance to be gold or fool. They shout above drum and street stomp, saying, "We are here. We are here. We are here. We are here. We are. We live. We matter. We are. We live. We matter.